cinematic universe, you will see that you have this agent called Jarvis. Okay, let me call Jarvis. The initial movies of Iron Man, the way Tony Stark does is he operates the suit. He tells Jarvis exactly what to do. That is the augmentation. Then a few movies later, when you come to a movie like, say, the movie like Spider-Man Homecoming, that's when the suit was flying by itself with minimal intervention from Tony Stark. That is what an agent does. Still, the agent is under the control of Tony Stark. Okay? Tony Stark has no relinquished control. Then you had this case where you had Ultron and Vision who had complete control. Like it was full autonomy. There was no human intervention at all. So therefore, you have the evolution of Jarvis where you had augmentation, you had agent where you had partial autonomy, and complete autonomy, which is Ultron / Vision. So I hope this example would clear any kind of confusion that you had with respect to difference between agent and say augmentation, etc. Do you guys now understand clearly how an agent stands? Okay? Do you guys understand clearly how the agent stands? Okay? Awesome. So now let us take it further. So agents are automating tasks, but they still require human oversight. And the real winners are those who learn to work with AI and not against it. And the companies are prioritizing professionals who can leverage AI over those unconventional what is happening. Okay, so now let us explore agentic AI in much more detail. So what you should understand is AI agent is an entity like anything like Jarvis is an AI agent, Karen is an AI agent, Friday is an AI agent. Okay, agentic AI is a quality. All Jarvis, Karen, Friday, these are all agents of Iron Man, by the way. All of them are agentic in nature. That is a quality. So therefore, any artificial intelligence that exhibits agency, and agency is nothing but the ability to act autonomously and make independent decisions, that is agentic AI. Okay, so now these agents are role-based, autonomous, adaptive, and context-aware. So role-based means they cannot take any role, they are supposed to take a particular role. Autonomous means that they are able to do anything without human supervision. Adaptive means that they are able to adapt to various cases if they is able to recover and adapt from the error. And context-aware, that means if you give additional context, it is able to execute much better. So we will now get into examples of the different types of agents. First is the basic responder agent. Okay, in the basic responder agent is if a user has a query, user puts the prompt in the large language model and put the prompt and I get the response. That is the basic responder agent. Now over the past few days you have seen multiple agents. What was the basic responder agent that all of you guys have seen? What is the basic responder agent that you have all seen? Absolutely brilliant. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, all of them are basic responders. So the agent, the Claude, ChatGPT, etc., they are the basic responder agents. That is, they can respond to queries or prompts. Then you have the next level, which is a router pattern agent, wherein there will be a top LLM which will take decisions based on the paths are taken. So for example, let us take a customer support system where I have a human on the standby. So what this customer support system will do is, the router LLM side is my query simple query or a complex query. In the case of a simple query, it will just verify the documentation and give the response to the user through route 1, basically saying that, hey, this is the response to your query. In path 2, when it feels it's a complex query or the user is agitated, etc., it will hand over the context, take additional context, hand it over to a human so that a human can step in and resolve the query. Okay, that is a router pattern agent. Router pattern agent, you so far, everybody? The difference between a basic responder and a router pattern agent. Everybody is following what we are doing so far? Okay, good. Then, from here on, I am going to more exciting features. The next agent is going to be what is called a tool calling agent, where the human gives the LLM access to a set of tools. It could be a database, it could be an API, it could be a local file system, it could be a browser. And then the LLM uses these tools to provide the answer. What do you guys think? Do you remember any such tool calling agent that you have seen in the last 2 days? Okay, exactly, great. Whoever said MCP, full points. MCP is a tool calling agent. Okay, so now I'm going to show you one use case of how I use it. You would have seen multiple use cases, the mentors have shown in the last 2 days. I would like to show you how I use MCP. So the way I use MCP is like this. So for example, in the years 2020 to 23, there was a time I was learning a lot and I made a lot of notes and I put those notes in my Notion database. Okay, Notion is a place where I can store information. So Notion is a database to store information. Now, over the years, I have written thousands of notes, so it has become very difficult for me to search notes or get a summary of notes so that I can stay up to date. So earlier, I used to struggle, like how do I recall, how do I revise what I have learned. But now with the help of LLM, with the tool calling agent, it has become super simple. So now I'm going to show you how I work with the tool calling agent. Okay, so here it goes. So I have this tool calling agent set up on Claude. So this is how I will do it. I will say, hey, can you get me a random note on my Notion database and summarize it for me so that I can revise what I have learned at that point in time. So basically I am asking it to do this. So I have now asked it to get a note for me. So it is going to search my Notion database. So let us see. So it will have to decide to go to my Notion and get it. So it is asking me permission to access my Notion databases. So it is going to list the databases that I have, and now it is thinking as to which one should have my learning notes. So it has figured out that learning journal, my database, is where it has a perfect thing. So now it is trying to query the database and pick a random note that I have put in. Okay, so I picked up a random note of May 16, 2021, almost literally like 4 to 4.5 years back, it has picked up this note, and now it is trying to get the content note, and now it is going to summarize it for me. So without me having to go to Notion, scan through my notes, pick some note, etc., I just tell Claude, and Claude will surface a random note for me so that I can understand the summary. So now it is trying to get the summary for me. Okay, so typically it does multiple steps and tries to think everything. So since it is thinking mode, it is not just retrieving the note, it is also synthesizing it for richer content. So we will have to wait a few more seconds and then I should be able to get that. So what I could do is, what I do is as I'm working on the day, I just give the query, I allow it to make the summary of a random note that will get picked up, and after 5 to 10 minutes I come back here and I check something, then I spend like 5 to 10 minutes to understand that information, revise my concepts, and I typically ask further questions. questions so that I am able to get the information also. Okay, so it is trying to get more and more information. So at any point in time, you can open this and you can actually see what are the, how is the response, etc. So now it's see here. So it has said the key topics covered were Twitter growth strategies, professional boundaries, daily writing habits, George Mack's top ideas, and the learning themes were all around this. I will say, just let me remove this. I will say, I want to get more info on George Mack's top ideas so that I can revise them thoroughly. So I saw it picked a random note from my Notion database. It surfaced that random note to me, and now I'm asking it a particular topic. So now it will try to go to that particular topic, get me those ideas, and summarize it for me so that I can learn all of those very well. So it is getting that, it's searching the web and getting that information all through. This it does because there is no way to scrape data from Twitter. So that's why you will have to do it this way. So now it is compiling it into a top revision guide. So it is telling me high agency as a master concept with resourcefulness, skepticism, internal focus, 4 pillars of high agency, what are the razors and rules, etc. So I have got a complete summary that I can go through, revise my learnings, and understand that, hey, these are the lessons that I have learned today, and come back tomorrow for another random note, another learning, etc. Okay. So folks, how do you like this use case of a personal tutor or a personal revision assistant, a personal tool calling agent, which looks at my Notion data and helps me learn or actually revise concepts that I have learned in my previous years? What do you guys think on a scale of 1 to 10? How did you like this agent? Okay, awesome. So now let us look at a few more agents that we have seen